Chapter 27, Jaiden Kensington. I take a sip of the brown liquid in a short glass. The whiskey is strong and heats the back of my throat. I fleetingly wonder if perhaps I have Scottish or Irish heritage. Not that I will ever know. You're in our spot. 3 men stand in front of me. Panic sets in. I look down and set to get up from my seat. I'm sorry, I'll move. They laugh at me. No, you don't have to move. We'll join you. The one with really black eyes says. I can't tell if the black is a large pupil or if his whole eye is black. They sit down in empty chairs around the round tabletop. I just about jump up and run away, but I settle for downing the rest of my drink. Jerry comes over to the table. He shakes hands with one of the men. Don't scare the poor girl. She's very flighty and too young for any of you. I want to thank Jerry for coming to my rescue, but I don't know how I should feel about him calling me flighty. In that case, get her a double of whatever she was drinking on us. Well, 3 rums and cokes. Do you have someone in the kitchen? Not unless one of you wants to start cooking. A popping noise reverberates to the right. The noise catches the attention of everyone in the bar. It gets louder and louder. Glass crashes. Someone yells, "Go out the back." Jerry pulls me off the bar stool and drags me out to the back. He stops and I run into him. Someone yells, "It's locked. Into the cellar." There's a lurch of the crowd around me and back in the opposite direction. I'm lured to the side room behind the bar. I grab onto the door jamb and step to the side, slipping tight against the wall. I get a bad feeling about the cellar. Nothing good could come from trapping yourself down in a place with only one exit. I no longer hear the gunshots, so I decide to take my chances elsewhere. If I could get to the stairs and go upstairs, I should be able to escape using the roof. I push through clamoring bodies and head to the front of the bar. There are bodies littering the floor. Bullet holes are peppered on the wall. I hear shouting outside. I take this chance to run. The popping starts up again. A dime-sized hot poke hits my stomach. I look down, but I don't see anything. I walk forward a couple of steps. Ow. Ow. I hold my stomach. The pain is too much to stand, yet it hurts to fall to the ground. I clench my stomach, and my hand gets wet. After this round of shots stop, I hear the shouts of men. Run. The cellar's flooding. They're dying. Gunfire. Black. Gunfire. Jaiden? Black. Lucas? Black. I hate dreams like that, waking up in a sweat and with my heart racing. The uncertainty of what the dream means, or doesn't mean, was erased with my knowledge of supernaturals. I must assume every dream and nightmare can come true until I know more about the new rules are to our new reality. The room is still dark and the bed is warm, but surprisingly empty. Sarah had let me sleep in her room last night with her, John, and another woman. We had cuddled on her bed. It kept us warm all night, but I had to awkwardly hold myself still all night. I finally stretch out on the bed, now that I realize no one is there. Though it was short-lived, I think I will miss this. I don't generate my own heat very quickly, so the heat was welcome last night. I'm sure that's why I fell asleep so easily, despite being in a bed essentially full of strangers. Or maybe it was the exhaustion. My hand goes to the opening of my sweater and to the necklace the pack Alpha gave me yesterday. I turn it back to the center in my chest. There isn't any use dawdling. I know I'm going to have to leave today, and I would prefer to do it while people may still be asleep. Well, hopefully some people will be asleep. The 3 people I slept with somehow managed to all wake and sneak out without me waking. I don't want to face everyone. I have to find a bathroom. I don't know if there's one here, nor if it will be vacant. Making up my mind, I decide to go to the bathhouse from yesterday. When my feet touch the floor, I regret taking off my shoes. It's freezing, well, compared to the warmth of the bed. Quickly, I bound over to my shoes and put them on. There isn't anything else to remember, so I leave the room. It isn't very far from the door to the outside. The cold air drifts into my lungs. I hug myself to hold on to the ounce of heat I have remaining. Fresh snow blankets everything. This isn't good. Will I be able to last a Canadian winter? No, probably not. South. I should go south. I should go to Banff. But there was snow in Banff. If I go south, will I meet up with Dominique? Could that have just been a dream? Should I just do what's best for my survival and forget about Dominique? Should I just forget about that and let things happen as they were supposed to happen? Those questions I can answer later. Step 1 is to get out of here and back to Dad's house. I can figure out some more things when I get there. It takes a longer time to get to the bathhouse from the back house. I breathe a sigh of relief when I enter and hear no sign of anyone else there. This means that I don't have to worry about any of my smells. I'm caught halfway between being self-conscious about the way I smell and not caring because there are some things that I can't do anything about. It's a different relationship when you can know that they can smell and hear everything you could keep to yourself in a crowd of humans. I take advantage of the working plumbing and hot shower while I can. I almost regret having to leave just for this reason alone, but I could endanger them by being here. I don't want to create a rift between people because of my presence. They are a pack, they are family, and I'm sure they will understand my reasons behind leaving. My body works on autopilot as I walk to the main house. I go over what might happen and what I might say. I decide to stick with being straightforward and telling them I'll leave to find my family. I get into the house by the front door. There are a bunch of people in the living room that I don't recognize, but the one I do recognize is the Alpha. Good morning, Jaiden. Follow me. Alpha Ken gets up from his chair. He comes over to me and leads me out the door I had just come in from. I've been told you were leaving us today. It's a very selfless thing that you're doing. I know you're leaving us because of the danger you may pose. I wish to thank you. I wasn't expecting this to go this way. I stumble out, "You're welcome." I feel like it's lacking or not the right thing to say. Perhaps later, when the war isn't so fresh, you can come back to stay. You will be welcomed as part of the pack, Ken continues. I was very close with your grandparents. It's the least I could do to honor their memory as well. John pulls up in a black car. He parks a few meters away and gets out. He walks over to me and hands me the keys before he hugs me. If you ever find your sister, please tell her I say hi. He steps back to stand beside his grandfather. The car is yours. We put a few things in there to help you out. Thank you. You didn't have to do this. Inside, I jump with joy over their generosity, but I remember my upbringing to be humble. Be appreciative, but tell them it wasn't necessary. Ken puts his hands on my upper arms. Your pack. I'm not going to leave you to certain death. He hugs me. You should get going. The scouts assured me that it's safe in the area for now. Thank you again for everything. I will hopefully see you again sometime soon, I tell them. We've already done the hugs, so I raise my hand in a short wave. I go into the car. The inside is warm. I start the car up and set it into reverse. I wave once more at the duo before looking behind me and backing up the car. I do not doubt where I have to go first. I need to go back to my house. The drive is uneventful. There's a surreal beauty in the snow-covered ruins of the buildings I pass. Everything everywhere is peaceful. I don't know if the peacefulness is localized to the country and back roads I take to get home, or if the battle has moved on from the small town. As I approach the neighborhood my house is in, I slow the vehicle down. I turn down the last road and creep at my house. There aren't any vehicles out front. I decide to take the chance and park as far. I decide to take the chance as far as parking across the street. I get out of the car and lock it. I stare at my house. There isn't any movement there. I secretly hope that my father isn't there. He'd be pissed if I returned because of my being gone. I strum up some tears before going into the house. I prepare for some crying to counteract his initial angered reaction. But all seems that it was for nothing when I call out his title and there's no response. Good. I blink away the tears in my eyes. I cautiously move through the house. No one is here. The house looks untouched, save for the lack of food. I don't think those people stayed long after I left. They didn't take anything I care to look for. Cautiously, I go down to the basement. The first thing I check is to see if my room is disturbed and if my bag is still in its place. My chest fills with joy when I see the bag still in my closet. Something that goes right for me as a bonus. The rest of the house is clear, so I decide to go outside and grab a few pushable items from the car. I may never know if I'll need to run away again, so I pack everything else into the trunk to make sure no one sees my supplies. In the end, I take 2 bundles of food into the house with me. It'll be enough to last me a few days. I lock all the doors behind me. Settling myself on the couch in the living room, I listen to the silence. I look outside to the stillness. I'm back where I was just a couple short days ago. I now know the extent of this war. There isn't anywhere that will be completely safe. The humans are hunted, the demons are hunting. Good supernaturals won't risk helping the humans, and winter is coming. In part, I am thankful for the late winter, yet I know that just means that the winter is going to last longer into the spring. I wish for a Chinook to help everyone in the north to survive. Those not smart enough to go south. The question is now, am I smart enough to go south? The timeline, the actions that were supposed to have happened thus far to ensure my visions to take place. Have they taken place as they were supposed to? I believe so, yes. Those people that came to this house would have come to this house while I was here. I would have run away. Logically, to get away fast enough, I would have gone to Lucas's house and stolen his car. Oh no, his car is still at Grandma's. There isn't anything I can do about that now. I would have had to go somewhere. Where would I have gone? I didn't have anywhere to go. I may have drawn the same conclusion and went to Grandma's, hence all that happening. I would return here with nowhere else to go. I should still be on the right timeline for my dreams, but this all still draws to the same questions. What do I do now? I think I might stay for now.